In this video, we will be grading your percent and proportion quiz. Number 1 says find 70% of 90. Well, hopefully by now we know if we have the whole and we have the percent, we can do a simple multiplication. We know that 70% is equal to 0.70. I don't need this extra zero. So I will simply take 90 times 0.7. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 9 is 63. We're one space behind the decimal, so here is our decimal. 63 is the answer. A. Another way we can think about it, we know 10% of 90 is 9, so 70% would be 7 times 9, or 63. Number 1 is A. Number 2, how many green buttons are in the jar? It says the jar has a total of 820, and we are looking for 85% of them. Very similar to number 1. We're simply going to multiply 420 times 0.85, because we know 85% is 0.85. Alright, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 1 is 10, carry my 1, 5 times 4 is 20, and plus 1 is 21, 0 for a placeholder, 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 2 is 16, carry my 1, 8 times 4 is 32, 33. 0, 0, 7, 5, 3. 2 places behind the decimal, it's 357. Before I leave, I'll make sure about reasonableness. Well, 85% of 420, 100% is the whole. 100% would be 420. It needs to be slightly less than 420, but not a crazy amount less. From the beginning, we could have gotten it down to A and D. Those are the only 2 reasonable ones, but D is correct. 2 is D. Number 3, 45 is 26% of what number? This time we're looking for the whole. When you're looking for the whole, it's going to end up with a division, but I'll see if I can demonstrate why that is using our bar model. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $45 is 26% of what number? This is what we're looking for. We don't know. Okay, we have the 45. 26%. Well, this is 10%, 10%, and then another 10%, but we don't need all of that. We just need 26%. We need this amount here to be 45. So each one of these is going to be slightly less, more than 15, I should say. This, and this needs to add up to be 45. So we know this entire amount is going to be more than the 45. We're looking for the whole. It can't be A, C, or D. It has to be B in this case. 173. 45 is 26% of 173. Number 3 is B. I'm going to see if we can look at this using our proportion. We know that our part over the total is equal to x over 100. That's our percent over 100. Well, our whole in this case is what we don't know. I'm going to put an N down here. We don't know what the whole is. 45 is our part. But we do know the percent in this case. In this case, the percent is 26. 45 over some whole is going to be 26 over 100. We can cross multiply and solve. I can do a little reducing here. 2 goes into 16 13 times. 2 goes in 100 50 times. So we have 13 times N. That's 13 N. 45 times 50. 45 times 50. 0, 25, carry my 2, 22. It's 2250. So we have 13n equals 2250. If you divide by 13 on both sides, you will see that indeed n is equal to 173 about. N is approximately 173, and that is B. Number 4. Says, what is the sale price from Orlando to Atlanta for someone under 16? The price of a train ticket is normally $118. However, the company is offering a special 75% discount. So we just want to find what the 75% discount is of this $118. Well, two ways we could go about this. We could find what the 75% is and then subtract from the original, or we can just take 25% of 118, because if we discount it 75%, we're left with 25% left over. So I'm going to show that method. We're going to take 118 and multiply it by 25%. Well, we know 25% is 0.25. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry my 4. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 4 is 9. 5 to 1 is 5. 0 for placeholder. 16. Carry my 1. 2, 3. And 2. 0, 5, 9, 2. And we have 2 places behind the decimal, so $29.50. That makes sense. If we have a 75% discount, it should be less than half of 118. 29.50. That's a reasonable answer. Number 4 is A. We could have certainly eliminated D and C in the beginning. We knew it was going to be much less than half. A and B were the only ones that were even in the ballpark. All right. If Alberto receives a 15% tip, how much will he receive? It says the bill is 110.05. We could multiply 110.05 times 0.15, but let's use our estimation of 10%. And in fact, this time an exact value of 10%. Well, 10% of 110.05 is, we just move the decimal one place to the left, 11.005. Well, since we're talking about dollars and cents, I could round to this one, but I'm just going to cast out this 5. It's $11. 10% of $110 is $11. So 5% would be half of that. 5% of 110.05 is half of $11. Well, half of $11 is $5.50. Thus, 15% would be these two numbers added together, $16.50. All right, 15% is $16.50. The correct answer is A. If you multiplied 110.05 times 0.15, it would yield this approximately $16.50. Okay. How much will be taken off the bill? How much will be taken off the bill? We're looking for 20% of 7.12. Well, 20% is 2 10%. I could multiply 7.12 by 20%, but I'm going to use my 10% again. 10% of 7.12 is 0.712. And since we're talking about money, I'm just going to round to this place. So we got 71 cents. Therefore, 20% is twice that. If I double 0.71, I get 1.42. And 1.42 is closest to D. Number 6 is D. this will conclude the first half of the quiz, 1 through 6. You can see the next video for 7 through 12.